Good morning, everybody. This is Jay, Central Illinois. It's a beautiful morning. It's going to be hot. We've had a lot of rain. Well, 6 or so inches. It's pretty soggy. I need to do some weeding, but I'm going to let it go another day or so. And I think we're going to have more rain today. So I picked a few cabbages. I'm just going to walk around here. I don't know how long this is going to take. It's probably going to be a long video, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel like doing videos, and most times I don't. Too shaky in the mornings, and camera equipment's not really good, so stability's hard. But it's a beautiful garden. I'm very, very thankful. Everything's growing pretty well. I've some questionable methods, but this is kind of an experiment. I'm doing a lot of different things in one place. I'm not going to explain them because I don't want a lot of people following this mode. So, but I'm going to go on with the panorama. That's apple mint down there. Sunflowers, some volunteer, and some I planted. All different kinds. Zinnias in there. A couple rows of spinach went to seed. There's my first year of tobacco. Tobacco's not the easiest crop to grow, I guarantee you that. But all down this side, there's marigold sunflowers. Down there, there's some dinosaur kale. And corn seems to be doing okay, knee high by the 4th of July. And it's not a hybrid. You see, back when they used to say that, they was talking about heirloom corn. They weren't talking about hybrids because it took longer for the corn to mature in the spring. So knee high. But it's kind of stunning from the cold, and you can see the different areas that's lower and higher in drainage and the fertilizer differences. So, but it will do what it does. Peppers down this row. I'm not sure what I planted in that row with a few pole beans, just scattered some seeds. They was mixed up, so we'll see. Here's a row of wax beans. I picked a few wax beans the other day. I picked a bunch of broccoli. Tomatoes are coming in. They're packed in there. I imagine I'll get some disease problems from that. That's the second planting of onions. They're doing okay. They're kind of got a ground cover on them. I don't know if that's good or bad. We'll kind of experiment with that. The first row that I planted over there, they're bulbing up pretty good, and I've kind of kept the soil loose around the bulbs and kept the grass and stuff around them, so they seem to be doing better. But there's some milkweed scattered amongst the garden. Bunch of zinnias. Wax beans in there. I picked some yesterday. Over in there with some greens. There's carrots. More sunflowers. Radish patch was over there. And kohlrabi. The kohlrabi didn't do real well. I'll replant some in the fall. I think it'll do better then. Come around here again. There's the onions. Bunch of cucumbers right in here. They're starting to vine out. They can just grow wherever they want. There's a bunch of cabbage. I picked cabbage like they're a little stunted, but they're really nice. Their poundage is pretty good for as small as they are. They're dense, so they'll make some sauerkraut. The cauliflower was definitely a fail. I know this next year I will have to have a better hoop house. But that's ongoing thing, this garden was last year and it was a spur of the moment because of COVID. Everybody was worried about food and having enough food, and this was a space to where that I could plant. So I got out here and did what I could. Now this is the second year. Last year was pretty good. This year's getting better a little bit, Tweak it some more. Garlic came out of here. I got garlic growing in two places. Over there on that mound of mulch, I took a whole bunch of these greens that had matured and went to seed, and I just bust them all over that. Now they're all coming up. We'll see what happens. I think I'll try to do that with turnips on that mound. But here's the first row of onions. They're bulbing up pretty good. Oh, decent anyway. We've had ample rainfall. Now we need some sun. couple days, and then a little bit more rain, they'll do good. You know, as good as they're going to do, and I'm happy with them. Here's a volunteer tomato, I believe. This is the volunteer. I don't know what it is. It's setting. It's getting a little wilt on it already, I think. But I got something I'm going to try on that, see if it works. My turnips were a fail this year. I don't know why. Turnips and beets, they just wouldn't grow. Cosmos right there amongst some nasturtiums. I got sunflowers all over the garden. These are volunteer too. Stalks on them just humongous. But it's a multi-head. I'm steering away from the single heads. I think some of my multi-heads yield a lot more sunflowers than just one head. And I've grown some big head sunflowers, and I mean really big ones. So, but yeah, it's an ongoing garden, you know, and it's winding up to summer. Things will start really growing now. Got some weed issues, and I can't really explain everything that's in here because it's all mixed up. But there's zinnias down that edge, down this edge too. Tomatoes. Let's see, there's some sweet potatoes, basil. That's a tomatsu mustard along the edge. Some purple cabbage. I see now I got a little bug on there. I got to put something on there. Cucumbers. The third planting of onions. Row of peppers. Some onions I just threw in there to see how they do. And then there's another row of tomatoes over there. Hope you guys can see this. I'm not the best at videos, like I said. Some of my late cabbage starting to come on better. Dinosaur kale. This is the center of the garden. There's some more sweet potatoes. More beans down there. 3 rows of mixed beans. More zinnias, tomatoes, cucumbers. No, I think that one over there is a cantaloupe. There's that dinosaur kale, some of it. There's a tomato. There's a muskmelon, cantaloupe. Bunch of pumpkins, squash, all down that row of corn. Pumpkins, watermelons. Zinnias on the outside and sunflowers and some more corn. I think I'm going to plant some beans, pole beans, inside that first row of corn down there, see how they do. Well, I imagine I could do a lot better with this video, but I'm just kind of standing in here. There's a little white cabbage moth. We don't like them very well. But yeah, it's getting packed in there, so now it's time to take my shoes off and make my individual path through here, because once it gets up like this, not many people follow me through the garden. And I've kind of had a garden like this, similar in mode, in the last 8-9 years. But it does what it does, and I've rambled on, so don't mind my shadow in the video and long-winded conversation. Just kind of look at the greenery. That's what I'm here for. Peace. Y'all have the best day ever.